NBA 2K25, we in the building. It's going down. Today we're breaking down the badges, best values for your attributes and the badge requirements. I have all that information. Shout out to Zach Zimmerman. Give me all the info. We're going to definitely bring it to you. Shout out to the devs for giving me something I always require for the beginning of the year. Got it a week early, baby. And so we've been doing a series covering each of the categories. Today's category is going to be inside scoring, aka finishing. They changed the name from finishing into inside scoring, which is cool. But man, there's a lot in there. And so we're going to cover all that. I want to show you very quickly Zach Zimmerman's full post. I broke it down and I'm going to make it easier for you guys to digest. I don't want you to get too confused and be like, what is what? So we're gonna break it down and jump into it. Let's go. First things first, finishing. Guess what? There's a ton of badges in this category. It's one of the highest badges in the game. I mean, shooting has only 5, so gotta give them props for putting all these together. All right, let's talk about it. So just so you guys know, we have the badge, the levels, and then the actual attribute that you need for all of them. So make sure you stay tuned for this when it comes to what is best for what. We're going to start off, and again, depending on your build, before I get started, I want to say it depends on your playstyle. Don't focus on what I'm saying and then just turn that up because you watch my video about, oh, this is a good number. If you're not doing floaters, do not do anything with floating badge. You get what I mean? I'm sure most of you guys know about that. I just want to stress that because I don't like giving information and people misinterpreting. Okay, so we're going to start off with Aerial Wizard. The reason this is important to talk about, it does 2 things, man. Putbacks and alley-oops. And guess what? That's a fun way to play, man. I'll just tell you. So if you do have this up, it's because you're a driving dunk type of guy. You're doing layups. You got some standing dunk requirements or vertical. You see, the vertical is the most important. If you're a dunker, you're most likely going to have a high dunk strictly because the actual requirements for dunks, which I also have and I'm going to showcase in a minute, is super important. Okay, so make sure you know that before I get started here. But what I would say is for driving dunks, when you're going to try to put a putback in, what are you dunking for, right? So you want an 80 or higher, okay? We're going to talk about what is the best for dunking because the posterizer tends to be the focus. I have 73 and 89 is the best for driving dunk, in my opinion, right now. But I'll talk about that in a minute. But the point is an 80 or a 70 is decent enough. But that Hall of Fame version could be super powerful. It could be fun, but this isn't something you should prioritize in your build, in my opinion. Now we're going to talk about float game. This is definitely in the bag for a lot of smaller players, even bigger players. You can really do some amazing stuff with the floaters, okay? And the requirements are either close shot or driving layup. And you can see right here, personally, a 78 is looking really good. I don't think that people should not have some type. If you're trying to finish, 78 should be reasonable to get in your build personally. Now, if you're a specialist, you're going for contact dunks, you got a 92 this, a 95 that, and this is where getting that Hall of Fame version can be a lot better. So just depends on the build. Again, that's where I just want to kind of make sure y'all know. Hook specialist, you guys know post is super overpowered, and post control and close shot is what you need for this. And on the left is hook shots, close shots. And personally, again, if you're going to be doing these hooks, there's no reason not to have 75 on close shots. And then on top of that, I would probably have post control at 80 because post control actually helps unpluckable as well. And you're going to be able to do some good stuff with post, in my opinion. So go for that, about 80 for post control. Depends on what type of build you want to make, like I said. Now, this is all for driving layup Mixmaster. I like the name, by the way, Mixmaster. This one right here is pretty straightforward. 75, this is the standard from now on. Like, if I make a build with not a lot of layups, more dunks and no less layups, which I've done before, I want a 75 layups at least. I got bronze. Mixmaster is going to help me out a little bit, and I think it's very good overall. 93 looks kind of high, I'm gonna be real, but at the same time, it lets you have the potential of getting Hall of Fame because you can use Cap Breaker. So I would think that is the secondary best value in between those two, depending on your build. Like I said, really depends on what type of build you're making. We're gonna go to Paint Prodigy. Down here, Paint Prodigy, super clutch badge to have, and it doesn't have any other requirements other than close shot. So make sure you look into that. And personally, if you're going to be out in the paint, man, it's not easy in there. It's unpredictable sometimes. You need an 84 minimum if you're going to be down there, man. Get to work, get that close shot really nice at 84, and you should be good to go. As far as like elite, we have to test the rest to see what's going on. Now, physical finisher. I love this. This is a fun one to have, and it's determined by your layups. All right, an 80 layup package is going to be probably amazing. Some really good ones in there, and you could do a lot of good things with an 80, in my opinion. You got the scoop layups, and hopefully some of those will unlock with that. We don't got the requirements for animations. That probably won't be out for a while, but I got you for that when it comes out. Then you have, of course, gold at 90. I feel like those are attainable. If you're going to be a finisher, you know, maybe you don't have no dunk and you got all layups and you have a shooting build, whatever that is, 80 to 90, it's reasonably understandable to have that, in my opinion. Hey, oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot. You actually do need strength for that. So just a quick pause right there. You do need some strength, and 67 to 75. That's pretty good for physical finisher. All right. That's not a lot. So that would be the number that I would put on it for strength. Now we're getting into post fade phenom. This is a fun way to play the game, man. I love this. So post control for post fade phenom, about a 70 to 79, easy to get when it comes to post control. And then your mid range between a 71 to an 80 for those. And that's for silver and gold. I love it. I think it's going to be useful, and we'll see. Then they got post powerhouse. This is like that dirty play style. Get in there and really dominate. And it's basically, again, the same thing that I'm liking is in between silver. If you have a 64, I mean, why not put it up to 75? It shouldn't be cost you too much. And then the 85 is another one. But the thing is, it also requires strength at a 86 for the gold version. So I'm probably going to go with silver here if that's just something you want for the minimum. Again, if this is your straight up play style, then you're going to go higher on some of these. Again, the requirements are here. I'm just trying to get y'all some of this info. Post up poet. I love this, right? This is so fire. It says you only need about a 70 for silver and then an 87. And these are the values I like to look at. They're lower, that I don't have to spend all my build for. Remember, when you put up one stat, it puts up other things this year, even more than ever. You got to be very careful on how you build your playstyle. Everybody's going to tell you to do this attribute, but now half of your points are gone just because of that one thing. And this is the big one. I think all of us kind of look at the builds when we want to have fun with dunking, and Posterizer is the number one out of all of them. And before I get into this, I do want to showcase a little something that can help you guys big time, which is the actual dunk requirements and standing dunk requirements. We're going to go with the driving dunks right now. So this is the contact dunks. And what I've noticed is a 89 unlocks both of the contact dunks for the pros. So this is the standard. The reason for it is because the elite ones are at 96 and 99. That's way too much. If that's not your main focus and on your build, I say stick with the pro contact dunks. 89 is reasonable. You're not going to lose all your attribute points for doing that. And then the actual vertical is only at 78, which is a lot lower than normal, in my opinion. But this is okay because if you are an elite guy and you want to get these elite contact, which are the better dunks, in my opinion, 96 is a must. 96 is a must because then you can get the 99 as well just by getting 3 cap breakers in the game. So that's going to help you big time. And then for you smaller guards, I actually like this. I might make me a small dunker, man, because 86 requirement for the smaller guys. I like that. That's not too hard. And then for the big man, it's basically all for standing dunk. Have an 80 or a 90. So the reason that's important is because we're going to get into this whole thing about posterizer and what we should do. We just talked about what it is. All right. For posterizer on silver, you need an 87. For contact dunks, guess what? Let's look at it. You're going to need, oh, wait, wrong one. An 89. So I say go 89, get this up there. You can use cap breakers, max 1 points to get yourself to 93. Boost yourself up to be able to get even stronger and get the gold version of posterizer. Personally, 93 is if you're really going hard. And then you can move it up to Hall of Fame. That's kind of where I'm at with it when it comes to posterizer. And then last but not least, the Rise Up badge. Very critical, guys, for big men. And if you're in the paint down there, want a faster twitch. And they combined 2 badges this year. So basically, you want to have this if you're a big man and you're down there in the post a lot. So it's basically, to me, a easy 81. If you're really gonna get crazy with it, you go up even higher on your standing dunk. 81 for a big man is pretty much the minimum. That's what I'm gonna have on my setup. And then if I can get it up to 90 or at least to like 85, so I can put 5 cap breakers in there, I'm all for it. And again, it might be overpowered, so we go even higher. But those are the breakdowns when it comes to this specific setup. I'm loving it, man. I feel really good and confident about my finishing. And some of these badges are definitely looking just right when it comes to the attributes and things like that. And we are going to be diving into some defense next. So make sure you check that out. It should be popping up on your screen right now. Got some stuff for the community, giveaways, and tournaments coming up. So stay tuned. See you there. Peace.